Okay, in this tutorial we're going to talk about the sidebar on Enchanted. So first thing we want to do is go into the editor and we want to look for appearance, and in appearance we're going to find widgets. Alright, now we have quite a few widgets that we can work for. A good portion of them, at least the custom ones, we call Enchanted. So anything you see over here in this section or here with Enchanted in the name, that's going to be a compatible widget with this particular theme. Some of the other ones will work as well. I'm going to go over those. Basically, what we have, and obviously if you're familiar with widgets, it's simply a drag and drop, name it, set it up, and they're good to go. And here's what we have right now. From top to bottom, we have our search, then we have our featured widget, our preferred vendors widget, our ads, text widgets, some more ads, our menu system, and a couple of other items. And pretty simple. And the first thing I want to go over is the featured, popular, and latest posts. We can see that right here. Once you drag this over from here to here, all you got to do is enter in how many posts you want to show up at a time, whether that's 3, whether that's 5 or 6 or whatever. Enter that number, hit save. Now if I come to the front end and refresh this, first thing you're going to notice is after the refresh, I only show 3 here. Okay, but if I hit popular, I'm going to have my 5, and if I hit latest, I should have my 5 as well. And the reason of that is featured. This featured post is actually connected to a category for featured. So if I only have 3 posts that are featured, I'm only going to get 3 to show up here. I hope that makes sense. So if you set a number to 6, 7, 8 or whatever, and then you refresh and you're only showing 3, that's because you don't have enough in your featured section. Now to get a post to show up in the featured section, we actually have to do a tag for it. Pretty easy to do, pretty simple. What we want to focus on is the word featured. That's what we need to use, featured. Okay, so if we come to a post, let me show you this real quick. Let's go to a post, the same old song and dance. If I look here, we'll see that it's not showing up. It hasn't been set for featured. So how do we do that? Pretty simple. When you're doing your tags, if you just type featured for your tag, featured makes it show up here under your featured section. So I've added that tag. I'm going to go ahead and update this. And hopefully when I refresh this section, I will now have that post. There we are. There it is. So when you're doing your widgets and you're setting your number, make sure that you have enough featured posts to show up in that number. And to add the featured post or a post to the featured section, simply type in a tag name of featured and that will show up there. Okay, let's get back to the widgets. Okay, that's this section. Now, what we will see through here is this little divider, this little shape and these 2 little lines. These actually, and these posts, excuse me, these dividers between these, we actually add in. Okay, and we call that Enchanted divider. So anywhere you want this thing to show up, we have to drag it over as a widget and divide the sections. So we'll see it doesn't show up everywhere, but just some random spots, at least how I thought it should show in dividing the sections. So to do that, let me find a spot that doesn't have this in here. But to do right in between these banners, I simply find the Enchanted divider widget and drag it over. Alright, and here it is right here. It took me a second to find it, but we simply drag this over. I'm going to divide it right here. Nothing to name, nothing to whatever, nothing to set. Just drag it over into the position. Let's come back to my ads. Let's see, I think I put it right here. Let me refresh. And there we are. Now I have a divider for that section. So add those, delete, drag and drop as you see fit. Go ahead and get back to the widgets area. And everything is, for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have our Facebook feed, we have our Twitter feed, we have our account section, our banner ads. We have a few others that I'm going to cover in this tutorial as well. And let's go ahead and cover the ads. Let's go ahead and open up one I already have. Pretty simple. This is a 300 by 250, and you're going to notice the size that's in there. It's going to tell you the size that you can actually upload. So the 300 and 250 is just that. Make sure you upload a 300 by 250. It is not going to auto size it for you. You have to upload the correct size. Once you've uploaded this image to your media library, and if you're familiar with WordPress, we find that in this section right here. You copy the URL from the media library, from the image that you want, and simply paste it into here, the image path. And if you want it to link somewhere, you simply paste in the URL, the link of where you want it to go to when it's clicked. And real quick, just to show you the library where you grab that link from if you're not familiar. Once you've uploaded your image, you can simply click on it, and it's going to give us the file URL path, which is right here. Copy that in of your image to the widget, and it'll go ahead and do the rest for you. Okay, we have a text widget. Pretty self-explanatory. If you need to drop any text in, any short codes, any widgets you may find somewhere else, embed codes, things like that, we can do all that with the text widget. We also have our menu, our menu, archive, and tag slider we have right here. That's a part of a package widget, which you'll see right here, Enchanted Menu Archive Tags. Just drag that over into position and let's see, let me find it right here real quick. Here we are. There. And when you do this, it's already going to be pre-named menu archive tags. You cannot change the menu to menu, blog roll, or whatever the case may be. It has to be menu archive tags. That's the default. And you simply set the main menu of where the first item is pulling from. Right now, I only have one menu, and that one menu is this menu right here. But if you go into the menu section, you've created multiple menus in the menu area, you can actually pull those from here. You can select the ones you want to add. So you can make a specific menu just for this section. Okay, up here we have our Enchanted Vendors category, and if you are using the vendors listing, this will come in handy. Basically, this is going to show a drop down of all the vendor categories you have created or added. So right now I have this small handful, and as I add these vendor categories, they're going to show up in this drop down. So when we clicked, we'd actually go to that default area. Right now there's obviously nothing in this section. I haven't built it out yet, but you're going to get forwarded to that section directly, and it works like just all the other widgets. It's a custom widget that we made over here. Vendor categories, drag and drop, put it into place. Go ahead and give it your name. You can title this, give it the number of categories you want to show up. That's 8, that's 10, that's 12, whatever the case may be, and that's that. And scroll down here just a little bit more. Most of these other ones, such as archives, tag cloud, and etc., those work. That is up to you to drag and place in, but it's just like any other archive, any other text widget, any other blog roll, those kind of things that you see on any other WordPress install or WordPress theme. What we also have is the footer widget. If we scroll down, we'll see the footer sidebar. And if I open this up, we have 3 spots that we can add in our Twitter tweets, our generic text, and a links or a menu. We can also position these into different orders if we like by simply dragging and dropping. Now if I refresh, I should have my tweets on the far left. There we are, a blog roll, and as well as our text widget. Feel free to mix and match some of the ones you see here. We can actually add into this section as well. Okay, last but not least is the login sidebar. Now this is only valid if you have the Pro theme, if you have the upgraded Enchanted theme. The default theme comes with a manual listing, a manual vendor listing, but if you purchased the Enchanted theme that has PayPal integration, this only applies to you. Basically what this is this is the account information that a person, a vendor, a customer, a client, whoever that may be, what do they see once they've logged in? Let me show you real quick. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And that's right here, this sidebar. What are we seeing? Okay, and this is the default setting for the the vendor's account. This is what a client sees once they've logged in and they're messing with their account, they're uploading and maintaining the account. This is the sidebar: overview, your account, business profile, and payments. And what you'll see is the account title, your account. So if I come down here, your account, that's how we title that. But by default, this section is already set up. It's what you're going to change as far as the title goes. That pretty much covers it for widgets.